Hi guys, it's Laura Cat from the band Upsidedown Cat. It's been a while since I've done an update video or a, kind of podcast, videocast video, so I wanted to come back on and share some stuff that's happened recently and some plans ahead, and just, yeah, show some stuff off. If you've watched some of these videos, you know that I have lots of videos by now, it feels like. Some are on certain topics and some are just kind of general updates. So I'll jump in. It'll probably be pretty random because I have a plan, but it's not a real plan, as always. And then I always forget to talk about like my band and stuff, but for new watchers, it's a Casio band, and you can hear it on Spotify or various other streaming services or Bandcamp, and the name is Upsidedown Cat. So I usually start with a mug, so I'm going to show my mug. I don't think I've shown this one yet. This I got for Christmas from my sister-in-law, so it's just fun, sketchy cats. And today it's just water. I think I'm like super dehydrated, so I think they're really cute, and it's a nice size for like a big mug of tea. So, I don't have a music box. Sometimes I share music boxes, but at this point I've shared a lot of them. So, unless I get a new music box, I don't really know if I'll have any more to share. But I wanted to just share something really random. But it feels Upside-Down Cat, so I wanted to share my earrings, my hummingbird earrings. I can put the name of the company in the show notes, I guess. I have several pairs. I have woodpeckers, and then I have cats. I can't remember if I used to have different cats too, but they have some fun animal ones, and I know I have more like on my like wish list of like, oh, someday it would be cool to have those ones. So if you're into like animal earrings, they're pretty fun. So okay, like I said, super random. Well, I wanted to share some buttons I've made. So Upsidedown Cat is me, and then I've probably, if you've watched other videos, you've heard about Sound Ghost Musical Collective, which is like some of our friends' bands, and so it'll be like mixed in together today. But I wanted to share, I don't know if I've showed these yet, but this is my first kitty button based on the Soon Fall Will Be Here art, and I'm planning to do other kitty buttons. I might even do this kitty, which is like my very first block print I ever did in high school. Cat block print. I'm sure I've done other block prints, but cat block print. So, and then I want to do a couple other things, maybe one with my name, I don't know, we'll see. And then we did some Bruhn buttons. My husband and our friend Chris is in Bruhn, and I want to share more about Bruhn later. So this is like album art stuff. It's really reflective. There we go. To match their album art. And then I'm doing some others. So these two were originally like block prints. If you're on social media, you've seen me share images of these. So Dr. Wally has the sideways skull, and then this can for Quack. I'm probably holding it wrong. So it was fun. Like, they're block prints, and then they turned into buttons, and they're gonna turn into other stuff. Like, we're gonna do more shirts for Dr. Watley someday. So that's buttons. Very excited. I mean, I'm like slowly making lots, so hopefully, you know, by the time I have more stuff to mail out, like I could put a button with it or something. So yeah, let me think here. Oh, another cool Upside-Down Cat thing. On Etsy you can have your own pencils made with like whatever. Oops. There we go. I'm getting flashbacks of the first time I shared these pencils. So I got more pencils made in various colors, and they say Upside-Down Cat. And then, I don't know if I've shared this before, but I want to make more kitties. This was my like original kitty wristband, knitted, and then I like embroider over it with a kitty face. I did find some yarn and stuff. I also was making Shrinky Dink keyboard ones, so of like Casio's, different Casio versions. So who knows, maybe I'll have time someday to make a few of those. That would be fun. I should say, like, I'm doing this kind of early morning. My kids are asleep because they're out of school, so I might have to pause at some point once they like wake up. So let's see. Oh yeah, stuff ahead. Like, I bought more silkscreen stuff for shirts, basically. So there's a lot of stuff in the works for Bruhn, the band my husband's in. And I should mention something. We did a show. I got to play synthesizer and sing on a couple songs of the show for KPSU Radio. I can link to that in the show notes if you haven't seen that video. It was about an hour-long show and like interview. This is the first time I've ever been like interviewed about music stuff. Obviously for Bruhn, but it was still kind of cool. And then I personally had like a shorter time to practice, but like the guys hadn't practiced for a really long time, Mike and Chris, and like they did really awesome. And then our drummer was picking it up, and like I felt like kind of the weak link or whatever, but it was really fun, and just really grateful to do it. And we learned more about like KPSU. They have the radio stream, and then they also have the video stream, and it's all students and like all volunteer. So it was just interesting to see like how that works, and yeah, it was really fun. They worked like really hard to try to get us up and running, and like, you know, we had so many microphones and stuff, so they were definitely working hard to do that. The quality on the video is still not perfect, but I heard the radio stream was like really good quality, so some people got to listen to that on the day of. I'm just thinking what to say next. Oh yeah, so Bruhn. So okay, part of the reason why I was like not doing a video for a while, there's two reasons. I thought I'd have more concrete like announcement about the Bruhn album coming out. It's called AM Noise, and Mike and Chris worked super hard on it. We've had some delays for a couple different reasons. So I don't really have like, hey, here's the album art, or like, hey, here's like the release date. But just know that things are going forward on that as slowly and fastly as we can. I'm working on a t-shirt design. I'm not going to share it yet, but I'm working on a t-shirt design or two. Plus we have our old shirt designs for the Pull From This End album. We're working on like a Kickstarter draft for people to be able to support it when the time comes. And then, this is kind of boring, but I'll share. It's not boring, it's just like, there's nothing printed on it. Sorry, it's like right behind. It's holding my phone up, so maybe if I pick up my phone and try to do it one-handed. There we go. We got blank tapes. So, Chris's idea was just to, like, put out some tapes. So we're gonna, like, make the J-card covers, hopefully. This is the plan. Make the J-card covers, and then, I have, like, some stamps, and I bought ink. This brand of ink is supposed to work on plastic. We read a couple, like, you know, threads and blogs and whatever. So, we're gonna try to put, like, the information, like, Bruhn and whatever it is. So, yeah. It's gonna be kind of like a special thing for the Kickstarter. So, we'll probably do, like, a limited amount of tapes, or they'll, like, only be, like, pre-order. So, more information on that. If you're a Bruhn fan, stay tuned. The best place to see, like, what's going on, kind of, is, on Instagram. We have Sound Ghost Musical Collective. I post like any big announcements there for any of the bands, and then we try to like also get that on Facebook. though like Bruhn Facebook has been kind of quiet for a while, but we'll try to, when things start going, you can definitely follow Bruhn on Facebook, and we'll update on there. And then I have my Upsidedown Cat knits on Instagram, so it's a lot of knitting or quilting, but I also like I'm starting to do more band related stuff, or like the merch that I'm making I sometimes share on there too. So if you're interested in seeing that, or actually the more accurate hashtag would be Upsidedown Cat music, and then obviously there's Bruhn music, Dr. Wiley music, all that stuff. So yeah, Instagram's kind of right now where I'm sharing stuff for the team. So let's see, we talked about Bruhn. I'm really excited. Like, I got to sing on the album a couple songs, and like it's like in some ways a quieter album. Like it's not as heavy like rock. I think I've probably shared before, but they described it more as like nighttime driving kind of stuff for some of it. I mean, it's still rock or like related to rock, but I'm really bad with describing stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna like it. So yeah, that's exciting. And then I wanted to talk about Upsidedown Cat. Maybe I should have talked about that first. So fans will know, like, my Christmas album and Soon Fall Will Be Here came out in 2010. And then I got married in 2013. When I got married, I moved out of my house and into like our apartment. So my husband's always had a studio and stuff, but like as far as like how I used to songwrite and record at my house, like on my computer, like multi-tracking my own stuff, or like for a while I had a 4-track. I kind of, in some ways, like, I didn't have that setup anymore, basically. We had my husband's like big setup, but what I always joke about is like I barely know how to turn on his computer. So as far as me like independently being like, oh, I want to like do some demos and stuff, I didn't really have that set up. So I just want to say that I'm gaining that setup. I was able to my husband got me a recording program, and I had one, but like it wasn't super great. So the one he got me, basically like it'll be easier for him and I to like share tracks. I got a Casio VL Tone, which is so special because my friend and songwriting teacher Todd, who has had a big impact on me, he had his little one, and actually he had 3 because he had one. His first one got taken at an event or something, and then I knitted him a replacement, life-size replacement. I feel like I've talked about all this before. But yeah, I knitted him a life-size replacement. And then someone saw that and was like, hey, I have one of those and I could give it to you. So he got like a second real one from them. So anyway, let's see here. I don't know if the batteries are on. Maybe my kids have obviously like, yeah, my kids probably, I think the batteries aren't working right now. But you'll probably, if you're a Casio fan, you know the sound, or you can look it up. And the cool thing is, it's like also a synthesizer too, kind of. So there's like a little tutorial, or just like a way to push the buttons where you can kind of create your own sounds. It has a calculator, so it has numbers. So I put in like my son's birthday and then like 503, which is like our area code, and it has like a specific sound for that. So like I think it's 8 digits. So you can like create kind of your own variation on one of the sounds. So that was really cool. I got this because when my husband was getting me the recording program and he started trying to think of what I needed, he got me like a drum machine kind of thing and a couple other things I probably won't share right now. I was like, oh, if you're getting me all this stuff, like, could I please have a Casio VL tone? So, I'm just super grateful because, it's not like I needed a bunch of new gear, but, it does help, and I think, and since we have a studio, like, I'm hoping we can have it available to more than just me. So, yeah, so we were able to do that, and I'm grateful, and, I just want to say, like, yeah, you can expect music ahead. I know things are still slow, and, like, I have kids, and that's kind of the main thing is, like, they still don't play by themselves for, like, a super long time, and I feel bad having them watch, like, movies a long time, but I am hoping, like, at least by school season to, like, get a couple hours to start working on stuff, maybe even before that. So, I've probably mentioned I have songs that are, like, half written, so that's that, but I have songs that are already written, and this is what I wanted to talk about. My giant poster, and I've got, like, three notebooks here. So yay. So I've collected this stuff and then had some really good conversations with some friends, and certain friends are like, just put something out, like, even if it's a single. So thank you, friends, for continuing to say that, and it matters, like, it adds up, you know, like, it to me, it, like, rattles around my head or, like, my heart, and I keep thinking, like, oh yeah, like, what would it look like to do that, or, like, because in my thoughts, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to, like, come out with an album or whatever, like, ta-da, here it all is, and it's as cool as Soon Fall Will Be Here, but different or something, right? Like, it's hard, it's, as a creator, it's easy to, like, tell ourselves stuff or set expectations and stuff, which is kind of weird, because, like, I spent so much time doing improv and, like, lo-fi, and, like, so I understand that world, but then it's, like, I don't know, it's easy to, like, feel like, oh, but maybe I'm not doing enough, or, I don't know, yeah, so, so, more on that, probably, but I'll stop there, but yeah, basically what this giant poster is, I have some kind of lo-fi demos I did back in my own old bedroom. Not as a kid, but, you know, like, in my 20s, probably. Yeah. And so I've decided I want to collect some of those, because, like, some of them are really good, in my opinion, and, like, some people who've, like, followed me a long time or have, like, dug on the internet, maybe they've heard them, like, some close friends have probably heard them or enjoyed them over the years, but some of, like, my newer fans, or just, like, other people who don't go digging onto, like, 15-year-old websites, they might not have heard them at all, and then there's a couple that, like, I kind of wanted to rework, and then there's a couple that, like, aren't on the internet at all, and then there's a couple, like, I had on paper, kind of, or, like, in my head, or I had, like, one weird version of them, but I wanted to do, like, a real version. So, if you've heard Soon Fall Will Be Here, there's, like, the Kitty Loops, like, the shorter stuff. Some of it was, like, Fruity Loops based, so, like, you know, electronic key kind of, so there's some more of that, and then there's, actually, I don't really know yet, like, I have to see, like, what tracks Mike can kind of salvage, because, some of them, like, a lot of them, I don't have the multi-tracks anymore, or if I do, I don't know that they'd, like, I'm not sure where that drive is right now. So, like, we're gonna work from just one track, basically, and he does have programs that can kind of, like, take out some, like, super high frequencies if we need to, like, clipping, like, there's a lot of that, so we'll see what happens. I also found, I knew I had them, but I, like, dug out some tapes. I had made two cassette tapes back in the day. They're, like, 20-minute cassette tapes, so only a handful of people got them. One was, like, me and Abby singing together, which was like, I barely remembered. Like, I knew one song kind of because I had that online and heard it more times, but like I forgot we did a whole tape of that, and that was really like special to find. And like that's how the band started, was me and Abby and Todd like jumping in and helping, or like holding the tape recorder. So that was really cool to find, and I just kind of want to celebrate that time, because I think that all that like lo-fi and like us young girls like trying to figure out how to play instruments, like, you know, we don't come from like a long-term musical background or anything. I had a guitar, but like I never practiced, never really played it. I was more familiar with like finger picking than like strumming. I still am. So, but I think there's some like cool stuff on there, and like it'll be imperfect, but like true fans will like it, and like for me and like close friends, like I think it'll be good to like kind of have that available. So if you're watching this video, you might fall into that category, because these videos are kind of directed towards like friends and like top fans. So I'm really excited. There's more to figure out. Like I said, I have to kind of see what my husband thinks he can make listenable so that it doesn't hurt people's ears. And then, but yeah, a lot of it's like already recorded, so that's exciting, because like, that's kind of the hurdle for me, is like getting enough time that's quiet in the house to like do stuff. So, and I have, like I said, recording stuff, so I just have to kind of learn it a little more. So that's my challenge, is like watching some tutorials and like writing down what I need to do. But the thing is, like, I listen back to stuff and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I knew so much. I like, sometimes it wasn't great quality, but I had like certain songs with like tons of tracks, like tons of harmonies. Like I'm like, I know I can do it again. I just have to like get back into it. So yeah, I'm really excited and a little like nervous, but like that's, oh, okay. So the current plan is, I have more of those 20-minute blank cassette tapes. So I think I have like 40 or something, or a little more than 40. So the plan is to do like a tape of some of the highlights, kind of all that. And then I'll also probably have more of it, because 20 minutes isn't super long, have more of it like available on streaming. And then I thought I might do like people who buy the tape. I might do like, I'm not really sure how I'm doing this yet, but people who buy the tape, like I have some other like downloads that might be just kind of like download only. They won't like stream online, but like people who buy the tape, or maybe like the digital version of the tape, I don't know, like they could get these downloads. And a couple of them are like not online anywhere. Like they would be like special kind of just for that. So I'm trying to make it like special, you know, because it's always fun when you can get like special stuff and you're like, oh man, you know, and they're like, oh, limited copy or whatever. Or like, this is red vinyl. Like I can't afford vinyl yet, but like these are red tapes. It's gonna be exciting. And they'll probably have cat stickers on them. So thanks again for being like letting me be a dork and watching it. Because half the time if I do watch these back, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm such a dork. But sometimes it's good to be a dork, because it reminds other people that they can, you know, kind of be a dork too. So so that's my like big Upsidedown Cat news. And I know there's nothing like created yet, but I'm it's like I've finally reached the level of like, I'm gonna do this. And I wanted to talk about something sad. Well, it's kind of like a couple things, which makes me more like confirm why I want to do it. Like one, it's like I've had fan comments and friends like over the past like 12 years now be like, your music is great. and I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, I know I like it. I created it. I try to be like humble about it, but there's certain songs where I'm like, yeah, that's a super great song, you know, and I'm excited to share it and stuff. And but so yeah, it's like comments building up, and then conversations with friends recently who are also songwriters who just really enjoy it and are able to like talk about it with me, like in a musical way, not just a fan way, but like as a songwriter kind of way. Like that's I've definitely heard those words and heard that encouragement and like taken it to heart. And then part of it's being part of this music community of like I'm trying to promote friends' bands and like help them get their stuff out and help promote it online and like figure out like how, like step by step, how are these releases gonna like get out hopefully before 10 more years pass, because it's, as a community, we've had a lot of like setbacks and like times of drought or just times of like I hope someday I can get back to that type of thing. So it's been cool to work with these guys. And then like even my husband, like he's been getting really into synthesizers. Again, if you follow Sound Ghost Musical Collective on Instagram, you may have seen some of that, and you'll probably see more. He's getting into synthesizers. There's like synthesizer, I think they call them clones. So it's like it takes like the original synth, super famous synth that was used on, you know, hundreds of albums in the 80s or whatever. And it's like the same sound, but it's like smaller and it's modern technology, so you don't have to repair everything, and it's not like, you know, $4,000 or whatever just for one synthesizer. So like he's getting really into that and researching synths a lot, watching YouTube videos, and but the cool thing is he's like planning to do some project stuff he had from like the late 90s. So that's really awesome to me, and like super excited about that because like we married each other because we're musicians and because we were in this community and stuff, but like as far as doing our own specific music, like not a lot has happened. So it's just cool to like finally feel like we're both writing again, kind of, and like we're both excited about it again. And yeah, so those are some things. And then here's like the sad part, like obviously these last years have been kind of hard for everybody. Water time. So you know, like there's people who are struggling, and like you may not be able to see that, but you know, we have our own times where we know we're struggling and stuff. And so it's like I want to get my music out while I'm still on this earth and while other people are still on the earth. So like to the best I can, you know. And then I was part of a creative community surrounding I'll use the word church, called The Bridge, back in the day. So and that's kind of like I don't think Upsidedown Cat would have happened if I hadn't been part of that community, if I hadn't met Todd and Abby, and like later met our friend Jonathan. Like, you know, it's like there's like people at the church and stuff, and then there's like friends and like people who are going to the same shows. Like they may or may not have always gone to church or not, but just like, you know, greater Portland creative music community. So like a lot of people came and went, or like stopped through, or would like have lunch with us afterwards, but maybe didn't, you know, go to church. It was just like the same neighborhood kind of stuff going on. So and by church, like I don't know, it's hard to describe. There's a podcast I just listened to that some of the leaders did, Ken and Deborah, just about like the early days of the church, and I started going like probably like 5 or 6 years after that. I mean, there was like earlier community before they showed up. But so yeah, I listened to that last night. That was really interesting, kind of to hear that. So I don't know. I guess I use the term punk rock. I don't know if that's really, really. It's how I like try to explain it to people. It was like creative people that didn't always fit in with like normal church or had been hurt by church and stuff, like normal church. So yeah, but imagine like hair dye, tattoos. This is the early, like when I started was like early 2000s. It's people like who'd been at the Music Fest, Tom Fest, like a lot of those people kind of overlapped. People who are already here in Portland doing creative music stuff, or so yeah, I don't really know how to explain it, but if you were there, you know, it was like, and obviously, you know, it kind of changed a little over the years, but still has like a certain spirit to it. And so I just wanted to share, like, one of our old friends from that community passed away. And so even though I haven't seen him for years, you know, I know a lot of people in the community were, like, affected by that, and a lot of friends and, like, old friends that I haven't really been in contact with. And he was a musician. I'm going to link to some stuff down below. A singer, and he was really good friends with my friend Todd, like best friends. So I just have felt that like impact of like people would say like you know, we don't really know how much time we have, like hug the ones you love, like that type of stuff. So it just reminded me, like, if I have music to try to do, like, if I can do it now, like, if that's the right time. And like also just that like friends may or may not get to hear it, and his loss like is felt through friends in the community and stuff. And like I know my music doesn't really like help with that, but like I think that continuing on with that like creative spirit, you know, whether like obviously everyone has their own different forms of creativity, but like choosing to be creative is good, and I think like it will have an impact on people. And like it's just like silly songs, and some are still like about cats and stuff, and I think that's okay. I think people need that too. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but like I just, you know, it's hard because our community like has spread out, and like there's people in different cities, there's people on the opposite side of the country that I was like calling and texting and stuff. And like you know, I wasn't even like best friends with him, but I have memories of like singing with him, being in the same room while music was happening, seeing him at shows, like super rad shows, that like definitely probably influenced me, and just yeah, like there's a lot, you know, that goes with someone who passes away kind of, I guess I would say, young, and who had creative plans ahead, and like friends who had creative hopes and dreams ahead to like continue creating with them. So yeah, I will post more about music stuff that you can check out down below. And that's just something where like, okay, I also broke my foot. So I've had like lots of thinking time kind of where like I didn't really have energy to do anything. I didn't even really have energy to knit, but like sometimes I just kind of had to like sit and like rest, you know, which is like hard for me to like be forced to rest. Plus I have little kids, so it was really hard to get any rest too, because they still continue, you know, needing help and stuff. But I think just all that combination of things has brought me to like, you know, I'm ready to pursue music more wholeheartedly. And like And it'll still probably be slow, like I said, but like the attitude is there, like the momentum is like coming back, and like it feels really important. Yeah, it feels really important because like all of our lives touch other people's lives, and even like old friends who I may like never see their face again, you know, because they've like moved away or whatever, like old people from the community or like friends of friends, like it's still like music can reach so many people. You don't have to be in the same room, you know. And so, and even like fans who I've never met but like sent super nice comments or were like, hey, you influenced my band, like check out my band, like that's so rad. Like I'm only one person in Portland, like and like it's just crazy and awesome to hear that. But I know I've had similar feelings, you know, towards other bands, and obviously they're more like established bands who have bigger followings and stuff. But like still, like I think any song can influence people and inspire people and stuff. And so for me to be like included in that category of like being an inspiration to people, or it's really neat. So long story short, I'm gonna work on some music. Yay, stay tuned. And I guess I wanted to share a couple other things. And like I've probably shared some books and stuff in the past on, if you've watched like the full long videos at the end, sometimes I share books and things. But I wanted to share my roses. So I think this is called Peace Rose. This is a plant my mom moved from her house, maybe? I'm not sure. I think so. I'm pretty sure. And it survived. I've had a rose that didn't survive, but this is also just a really pretty orange one. This one was already, I think, yeah, this one was already in our yard when we moved here. So, I love roses, and I'm in Portland, the city of roses, and it's actually a rose festival, so yay. But what I wanted to talk about is I read about it in a friend's book. I probably shared, I don't know, it's a book on vocation. It's called Your Vocational Credo by my old friend, Deborah Lloyd. So just one part that's really stuck out to me over the couple years is she talks about comfort. And we often comfort other people with what we ourselves are comforted with. So like if I'm comforted with mixtapes, I might make a friend a mixtape, right? Like it can really depend. So I do think I'm comforted by roses, so I just wanted to bring them here today. And also people who are interested, I did like a little self-study thing where like I just started a list of like what things I thought actually comforted me, and I've found some really interesting stuff, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this. I don't always rewatch all my previous videos, so I'm sorry if I like say stuff again, but like birdsong was one of them, which I like hadn't realized, but like yeah, like super comforting. The ocean, like all sorts of stuff, tea, like kind of normal things that are comforting, like quilts. Like I make quilts for people, and like I love them. Just like wool in general, and this is gonna get into just like craft stuff, but so like if I don't know, just since it's been hard these last couple years, like if people want to write their own list of like, or just think about it, like think about a couple things, like I think it's good to like if we can like mindfully like sometimes try to increase those. Like I realized like I kept passing by my roses and I was like, oh my goodness, like with my broken foot I haven't been out and about as much, so it's like, oh, I need to cut some of those, like bring them inside or like take them to my work, share them with other people. Like I think that it's really easy to just like do every day, and just try to make it through the day. But like I think getting outside and like just like more natural things or like comforting things are good. So I wanted to share, this feels weird, but I'm gonna share it anyway. So I wanted to share that I have a bunch of flaxseed, and then I also got some flannel. Look at these cute kitties. I found this online. Let's see. Oh, it's a Joanne cats. You can find them. This one is like 10, 15 years ago. So I think it's like out of print. Like, it's hard to find. I just found this gray kind. And I have used, there's like a white, navy, and a yellow that I've used a lot more frequently. Okay, so I had a kid interruption there, and I turned on TV for them. But yeah, so I made some cassette tape stuff over the years. I was gonna make some, they're like, you know, they're like rice or like flaxseed. They're like the microwave warmy things you can like put on your shoulders and stuff. So I was gonna make more of them just because like I feel like just for like friends or family, I don't know if I'll have enough to like sell, but if I get other fabric, I maybe someday could do that if there's interest. So just something like comforting to give to people, and like they may or may not use it all the time, but like in the winter I use mine a lot just because I'm like cold or like you know, like cold feet or like aches and pains. Really good for that. So yeah, so I've realized, like, as I think about my crafting, it, like my personal crafting, not really Upsidedown Cat, it's like generally like making stuff for other people, and it's some sort of like comforting thing, or like just handmade, you know, like, cause like handmade, it's so, like everything's so, you know, just like mass produced, I guess. So it's nice to have something handmade. So I did make these. I don't know if I shared these. I made these for one of our friends, really good friends, who lives kind of further away now, so it's harder to see him. He was one of my husband's roommates back in the day. So they're all done, and then I'm slowly working on some other socks for a good friend. Oops, sorry. They're kind of crazy colored. So I got this yarn like given to me, and I was like, wow, that's really crazy yarn. I was trying to think of like who would wear socks in this color. So I'm making them. So this is one, and then the yarn just like, you know, it does its own coloring pattern, and then this is the second one. It's like at the heel, but not the foot is not started yet. So it's nice to have like a pair in my purse. So like if I'm stuck somewhere, or like if my husband's driving and I'm in the passenger seat, I can just knit a bit. I have another pair I started for my husband for our 10th anniversary. So I was trying to find it this morning. It's kind of chaotic in here. But yeah, it's just, I'm pretty slow at socks, but it's nice to like have something to work on, and then like eventually it'll turn into something I can give to somebody. I'm trying to do like less, I'm trying to be like careful what I decide to do, if that makes sense, because there's like not a lot of time, and I know I'm like intentionally trying to do music, and I also have a list of like quilts that's like 10 quilts long, so it's kind of insane. But plus I'm doing merch for Sound Ghost, so it's kind of insane. But I think it's okay to try to do everything. I mean, like basically I've figured out the categories I want to work on, and then like some things are probably just dreams and like may never happen, or may not happen until I'm like retired or something. But other than that, I'm like, okay, let's just like, I'll keep it on the list, see if I get to it, like, you know, and I'm willing to like, if stuff kind of changes, or like if you know, I think it's cool. Like, I think once we get some releases going and, like, some merch made, like, it'll become easier, and then we'll figure out, like, what we want to do ourselves, and then if we could afford to have other stuff, like, made, or, like, you know, I don't know. See, I like printmaking, so I'm okay with, like, doing it ourselves, because that's, like, what I focused on in school. And I'd like to be better at it and, like, remember all the old tricks and stuff. So, like, yeah, it's exciting to, like, get back into it. And I also remember, like, all this stuff of, like, oh, yeah, I wish I'd remember to do that, like, before I did it. So, yeah, I'm excited for, like, what's ahead, and we'll see what we actually get done in the next, like, year or two. But, it's really cool, and, like, there's some projects, like, hang on, it's hard, because, like, I have so many ideas and plans, and, like, I also work and have kids, and, like, you know, it's hard, but I would rather be, like, inspired and excited about stuff, and, like, than, like, just not feeling creative at all, I guess, or, like, yeah, like, a couple years ago, like, everything felt really hard. I guess, here's something else I wanted to say, like, in 2020, I don't know if I've said this before, in 2020, I felt, like, really, like, helpless on some stuff, or, like, hopeless, I guess. So, like, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I didn't know how to help. And again, I'm just, like, one person and stuff, and, like, maybe I'll only help, you know, our immediate friends and family and, like, community. But I think, like, creating stuff like quilts that is comforting, or, like, I think that still has an impact, and so I want to do it. And so it feels good now to be, like, past some of the, like, just being really sad stuff, and to actually, like, my hands are, like, moving again, like, creating artwork for bands is, like, awesome, and it's, like, the music may not be quite at the stage to, like, put out, but, like, it's gonna get there, and, like, music, or, like, artwork is being made in, like, ahead, like, it's kind of like we hope to get to something someday, so, like, what can I work on now? Like, buttons are, like, pretty easy, and like I said, there's other designs I'm hoping to do. I want to do, like, a bear one for Bruhn, and we've got some other designs that guys are kind of, like, thinking on. So, like, I'm excited to, like, even have those buttons made. It's, like, really cool. It's, like, cool. We're, like, making something happen, you know, and it feels small, but it also feels, like, really big, because we're, like, you know, choosing to continue on with creativity and music, and I'm choosing to support our friends in that, and, like, and just, like, you know, stuff, like, it's not like I have more time than them, but, like, I have the supplies, and in some ways I have more time, because I don't have a full-time job, at an office, or, you know, out in the field, so, I have many other hats I wear, but yeah, I am home maybe a few more hours than they are, so it feels good to do that. And then yeah, so I also wanted to share just the beginning of a project. So speaking of knitting, if you've watched the song, hopefully you like knitting. So I restarted a sweater for one of our friends. It's like a sweater commission, basically. So I've got 2 front panels started, and then, oh wait, one of them, sorry, I just shared was the back. Yeah, this is a front panel started. This is, like, the front. It's gonna have, like, the zipper is gonna be in the middle there. So I'm still trying to, like, knit up to a certain height so I can measure and, like, make sure it's gonna be the right size that we're trying to get to, but yeah, it's like, I don't know, it feels good to, like, just be working with wool, and like it's summertime, so we'll see if my knitting slows down. But it feels good to like make something for somebody who I think will like, you know, truly appreciate it and stuff. And then I was hoping like if I do pretty good at this one, like there's some other patterns, similar sweater but other patterns that like my husband and like at least like 2 other friends I think would like appreciate and wear. So we'll see. I don't know. And the yarn, you know, it adds up. But I don't know. I feel like, oh, this is kind of something I wanted to say too. I've been thinking a lot. But if you're creative, maybe it's interesting. I always think it's interesting to hear other creative people's stuff. Okay. So there's stuff that's like, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of work. There's like only a few of them made. You know, I could sit all day and mass produce these and make a lot, or I could do, you know, all the various things I've been talking about and just make maybe a few of them. And then there's other stuff which is like more multiples, you know, it takes less time, or like the pencils. And then like music, like I said, can travel. Like it's not like who knows where songs will end up, you know, eventually, or like have already ended up. Like I'm sure there's fans out there that I haven't heard feedback from, but like and again, I'm not trying to like just talk about me, but like music in general, like you think about like the impact of some band, like, you know, some classic rock band or whatever, like it's just like millions of people have had that music be part of their life or whatever. So I guess I'm thinking on like what is like high detail, like stuff I really like to do, like this, or embroidery projects that I really love, like the hand sewing aspect, or like quilts. They take a, you know, a fair amount of time, a fair amount of hours and effort, but like the end result is super special and stuff, and it becomes part of someone's like life, you know. Hopefully if they like it, they might use it every day, or, you know, every winter or whatever. So like there's that kind of like high detail, high amount of hours for me. And then there's also like, I don't want to say mass produced, but like the stuff that can have a further reach or be cheaper, or like but I guess I want to have that attached to it where it feels personal still, like the buttons, or like sending music out. That's why I want to do the tapes. Like, you know, there's nothing more personal than a mixtape, like handwritten mixtape or whatever. And I don't know really for mine, like I'm hoping to do like printed covers, like hand printed covers, and I'm not sure yet about liner notes. I doubt I'll be handwriting all 40 of them or whatever, but you know, like there's hopefully some like personal touches to that, and like and it would be cool to kind of have like, yeah, like a little set of like, here's your tape, here's your pencil. I even thought of doing like notebooks, like here's your notebook to like write your dreams in, or write your own song lyrics in, like buttons and stuff. Like it just sounds really fun to kind of create like what I would want to get. You know, like stationery. I don't know, like Upsidedown Cat themed stationery. That's a stationery and calendars are like, you know, future goals, I guess. But yeah, so like I hope you've had fun watching today. I don't know if I really have anything else to say. Oh, the main other thing I have to say is I was just reading about something, and it makes so much sense, but it was like if you're grateful for something, like, you know, like write it down, or like think about it, or just be like, yeah, I'm grateful for this. Like remember to be grateful and stuff. And then it's like if you're grateful for a friend, or like somebody did something, like say it, like let them know that, because I think that in our own minds and our own lives, like there's so much going on that's like discouraging, or like just like not healthy. And like obviously social media contributes to some of that or whatever, but I think that words from a friend, even if it's just like a text message on a screen, like it can really change somebody's day. So I can't always reach out to people. Sometimes I feel like I have a hard time, or sometimes I can only reach out to like a couple people, and my energy's kind of taken up at that point. But I think, you know, whatever we can do, or just be able to receive from others if they're reaching out to us, like I don't know, I think it will help us get through stuff. And one of my songs, I don't know if it'll develop into a real song yet, but it was about like it was about getting a letter, like a handwritten letter from a friend. So yeah, it's always good to write letters if you have time and stuff. And I just got some cool stamps, the endangered species stamps, which have like some really fun animals. So anyway, that's my little, those are my opinions. You don't have to agree with any of that. And that's what I'm working on, and I hope next time maybe I can share. I was hoping, so like when Bruhn's album's coming out, I'm hoping to do like, if I can have them over, do like a little interview, have Chris and Mike maybe sit in on some of that, and just like maybe they could like interview me and I could interview them or something. I don't know, we'll see. But have a good day, and or you know, I hope this part of your day was good. I know, so like my work is crazy stressful. Like it's just been a weird season. And then with my foot, I've had like so much more awareness to like people with disabilities, or like pain, or like the elderly, like trying to get around. Like it's just opened up my eyes a bit more. So I'm grateful to be doing better, and I can finally like get around my house better. And that's part of like getting my energy back to do music and stuff. So but yeah, just I'll check in with you guys hopefully before too long. So have a good summer, and we'll see you later. Bye.